morality. Let's talk about morality a little bit.
All right.
So, the Christian worldview, in my opinion, likes to hijack morality and claim that, it you can't have morality without God. God's the reason for morality, you know, so on and so forth. But when you really think about it, I want you to really think about this one for a second because this is good.
Well, I don't.
Is it
I'll listen to you, but I don't accept your premise. But go ahead.
Oh, well then we need to go back to the premise then because the rest of it's not going to matter if you don't accept. You have to accept the premise before we can move on. So let's address, I should say, the premise. What's wrong with the premise?
Well, you made an assumption and you made an assertion before you actually demonstrated and proved it. So take the phrase "religion likes to hijack" because you didn't prove that. You just asserted it. So take that part out of it and just say, all right, religion claims that you can't have morality without God. Forget the whole hijack part because the hijack part you haven't proven.
Okay. Was that the only wasn't didn't
Yeah,
you
that's
say
the
there
only,
were two things?
no, that's the only part. Uh,
Okay. When I say that religion hijacks it is because look, we live in a natural world, a physical world. All we have, okay, look, when it comes to proof, right? And yes, you could say that, you could say, sure, your worldview can't be proved, my worldview can't be proved, but there are things that fall into the physical, natural world that we can know that can be classified under you might call objective truth. It takes away from the morality, if you will, when you say that you know somebody does something good, for example, let's say, well, they got that morality, God gave them that morality. But when we really think about it, it really takes away from the honor of the act because it's basically saying they're only doing that because they feel like there's a reward, i.e., heaven, or punishment, i.e., hell, if they don't do the good thing or whatever. So rather than the person themselves actually having that good intention or that morality. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
you're assuming that if someone says morality exists because of God, that they don't actually have a morality that they believe and act upon and comes from real intent. What you're doing is you're judging Christianity by people who make assertions and have beliefs that are irrational and incorrect and unbiblical. You're not judging it by Christianity or the Bible. You're judging it by people who assert to be Christian. But people who assert to be Christian all the time don't follow what the Bible says, don't understand what goes on in their own lives or in their history of their religion or what God taught or anything. So yeah, there are people who say, I do this because I'm supposed to. I'll tell you flat out. I do what is right because it's right. And God has also made me aware that it's right. And God has is the one that helped me to understand the difference between right and wrong. But I do it because it's right. I just know certain decisions are wise decisions and certain decisions are not wise decisions based on principles that exist because of God.
It takes away from the good intention of the person that makes the decision to do good and just say that, well, he has that morality because of God.
So
You see what I'm saying?
let me ask you a question. Would it take away the honor of your good deed because your parents taught you to be that way?
It would if there was a reward and punishment, for example, heaven and hell, behind that's pushing that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, and I agree. I totally agree. I will make a statement you probably never heard from a Christian. You would have heard it from Paul Washer if you've ever heard Paul Washer, but you probably never heard this from a Christian. Okay?
Yeah.
Here we go. I don't obey God because I'm afraid of going to hell. I don't
Oh,
go I don't obey God because I want to go to heaven. If I
okay.
obey God because I want to go to heaven or because I don't want to go to hell, then my motivations are selfish and false and they're not sincere.
But God still put the notion of heaven and hell in the Bible.
But
You see
heaven
what
and
I'm
hell,
saying?
yeah, but heaven,
It's kind of like the mafia boss analogy,
well,
which
okay.
I like a lot.
Simon Dan calls it emotional blackmail. That's what he calls it.
Yeah, sure.
The problem is that's true for religion, for man-made religion. It's emotional blackmail. I totally agree. According to biblical Christianity, you don't go to heaven because you do good deeds, and you don't go to hell because you don't do good deeds. Biblical Christianity doesn't teach that. So religion and contemporary pop culture Christianity teaches that. You know, we've grown up in America believing that uh, it's about mom, apple pie, and freedom and capitalism and all that stuff. Those are Christian things, right? We've learned that you're a Christian if you don't smoke, drink, dance, cuss,
Right.
whatever. No, this is a behavior-oriented righteousness. The Bible says that God uh, God judges wickedness and rewards righteousness, but it doesn't mean that you go to heaven or go to hell because of what you do. That this is not, you go there because of what you are. What you do, yes, affects the type of heaven and the type of hell that you experience, but why you go there is not based on your deeds. So people who think if I'm a really good person, if you talk to a Roman Catholic and ask them why should I go to heaven, should God let you into heaven?
Right. They believe it's their works. And I
So
understand that that's not what the Bible teaches.
okay, so we've dispelled that whole problem. Then I don't treat people nice because I'm trying to earn points with God. I treat people nice because it's what's in my heart to do, and my heart is there because of God.